Hey everyone, my name is Mercy. Welcome back to the Funny Pajamas YouTube channel. This is the Otaku edition. So this is my March 2022 manga haul. I've picked up some interesting stuff today, some carryovers from last month. So before I go any further, please take some time, smash that like button. Don't forget to hit that beautiful red subscribe button, become a subscriber to my channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you're notified every time I post something new. With that down and out of the way, let's get down to it. Hey everyone, so it's currently the 7th of March 2022 and these are all the packages that came in this week. So without any further ado, let's start unboxing. So first up in my haul, I have Fruits Basket Volume 10. Now I have an entire run of this up all except Volume 7. So Volume 7 is the one I'm having trouble getting. You can see some mark here. Now the one thing about these volumes, these collector's editions, they look gorgeous. I love the pastel shade spines that they have going on, but one main problem with these volumes is that they get dirty really easy. It's very easy to get marks on them. So yeah, Fruits Basket, it's a classic shoujo, a lot darker than what it appears to be at first glance. Now I have read up to volume 3 or 4 I think of the collector's edition. I haven't gone further because at that point I did not have, so I just all the volumes, so I just picked them up as and when they could. So I have a straight run now up to the whole series I have except for volume 7. I'm waiting for that to come into stock at a reasonable price before I dive into it. I don't think there's much needed to be said about Fruits Basket. It's a classic shoujo. I have, as much as possible, stayed free of spoilers. So I want reading the manga to be my first experiencing this series, and then I will definitely be checking out the anime. So yeah, Fruits Basket Volume 10. Next up in my haul, I have The Abandoned Empress Volume 1. Now this, if I'm not mistaken, is a manhwa, and also, by the way, this is in full color. Now this is an isekai. Sorry, let me get rid of that. Okay, so this is an isekai. The cover is gorgeous. If you can see, there's this like metallic detail to it. And this is the first manhwa I've owned ever, I think. Yeah, I think this is the first only manhwa I have in my collection. Now the story follows our main heroine. She has been raised from a young age to be the Empress, to marry the prince and become the Empress. So she's been groomed her entire life. And as she grows up, one day when she's just about, I think when she's like on the cusp of adulthood, another girl appears, and I don't know, but I have a feeling she's isekai into this world, but that other girl appears, and it so happens that she is the actual, the saint or some such, and she's supposed to be supposed to be the actual Empress. So they chuck this girl out, chuck her out, she's set aside, and this new girl ends up taking her place, and she's totally, treated really badly. The prince, totally looks down on it. From what I hear, he's pretty much a douche. He totally sets her aside. She's treated badly. She's abused and stuff. And eventually it ends in her death. And upon her death, she gets reincarnated into her self 10 years prior, or her 10-year-old self. I'm not very sure about that. And she gets to relive life. So this is basically her journey. So this is an isekai, first of all, which is totally not in my wheelhouse. I don't have many isekai in my collection. I think it numbers and I can count it on a single hand, the number of isekai I have. But what mainly got me was the cover. The premise also sounded interesting. Also the gorgeous full color pages. Now I know I shouldn't have shown you those pages. I know there's a copyright problem that's rising out of Japan of late, so yeah, so I can't really show you much, but this is the manhwa, that my first manhwa ever. and I'm glad I picked this up. I'm really intrigued in seeing how it goes, what direction it takes, what she does once she gets reincarnated into her 10-year-old self, what path her life takes. So yeah, it's not my typical fare, but the fact that the cover is so gorgeous, the premise seemed pretty good. I mean, it's a decent, your standard isekai fare, and of course the art is full colored, so that's kind of the main reasons I picked this up. Also, I've heard some good stuff about it on MangaTube. So yeah, The Abandoned Empress Volume 1. I don't know when Volume 2 is coming out. I cannot find out the release date, but I do hope they, it releases soon. So next up in my haul is yet another new series that I'm starting, The Dragon Knight's Beloved. Okay, I am a sucker for dragons. I love dragons. I absolutely adore them. I love anything with dragons in them. Now this is a new series for me. From what I hear, our main character, the main male lead, is the caretaker of dragons. And he decides to retire and head off back to his homeland, where he will be taking the role of Duke or something, some titled role he's going to take. And he has a crush on this girl who's a maid, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's a maid in the king's palace. So he decides to take, and she gets along really well with the dragons that he's got under his care. He's the caretaker of dragons, so she gets along well with them. So he takes her along with him, and I think through a series of circumstances, he has got her posing to be his fiancée so that he can keep other women off his trail, so that to show that he's already taken, so he's not interested in finding another female. So basically that's the story. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong in certain facts and stuff, but since this had dragons and this seemed okay. Now I have heard mixed stuff about this. Straight off the bat, I want to say this volume is a lot smaller than I anticipated. Let me see if I have so this is your standard Empress volume, and if you can see, it is slightly smaller. It's a lot thinner than I thought also, but it feels like it's weighty, it's heavy. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't want to show you any artwork, was mainly because I've heard of that stuff. So yeah, the Dragon Knight's Beloved, the manga. I don't know if there's a light novel for this, but yeah, I want to check this out. I've heard mixed stuff about it, honestly, but I want to give it a go. So yeah, that's the Dragon Knight's Beloved, Volume 1. And the last manga in this clip is Sweat and Soap Volume 10. So I did haul Sweat and Soap Volume 11 in last month's haul. I'll leave a link to last month's haul up in the somewhere in the corner right there. So do check that out. Now I have up till Volume 11. However, I am missing Volume 5. So that is problematic for me. I can't move forward because I believe I'm in Volume 3 or so in my reading, but I had to put a halt on it because I didn't have Volume 5. Once I have Volume 5, I plan to binge read the whole series. I hear nothing but good things about this series. I don't know what else I can say about it. I know I have a tendency to ramble on and I repeat a lot of the synopses. So that's the main reason I'm going to leave it. Since this is a popular series, do check it out. It's a fun series. It's a very healthy relationship from what I can tell between our two main characters. If you can get past the sniffing thing, it is really interesting, at least how much I've read, and I've heard people say nothing but good things about this. I know there's a box set coming out, but I don't think I'll be getting the box set. I think because I've already got a whole straight run. The only thing I'm missing is Volume 5. I do hope that comes back in stock at a decent price. So Sweat and Soap Volume 10. There are 11 volumes. This is the penultimate volume. I have already got Volume 11 in the previous haul. So yeah, I just can't wait for Volume 5 so that I can read this. So yeah, that is it. These are what came in this week. So that's it for this clip. I'll see you again in the next clip, which is going to be a week for me, but it's going to be a few seconds for you. So yeah, that's it. Hey everyone, so it is currently the 13th of March 2022 when I'm recording this, and I got only 2 packages over the course of this past week. So anyway, I didn't want to wait till I thought I might as well unbox these now itself instead of waiting another week before I get a substantial amount to unbox. So yeah, so let's start unboxing these. So the first item is Cheeky Brat Volume 2. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed myself with Cheeky Brat Volume 1, and that's kind of why I'm deciding to collect the series. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of like that Notice Me Senpai kind of vibe going on. And as clearly I've said before many times, I remember one manga tuber very aptly putting this. If Maid Sama and Waiting for Spring had a baby, that would probably be Cheeky Brat. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed myself with Volume 1, and I highly recommend this for shoujo readers particularly. So the basic plot is we have our main female character here. Of course, there is in this particular series, our main lead female is a couple of years older than the main lead male. Now she's the manager of the basketball team, and this guy, our main male lead, he's one of the players. She's, I think, a year or two older than him, and he takes an interest in her. She originally joins for certain reasons, like she mainly joins because she has a crush on her senpai, who happens to at the time be the captain of the basketball team. But despite that, she puts her whole heart and soul into working for the team and, making sure they succeed and stuff like that. And she works her butt off. And this guy notices her and he wants her to look at him like as a possible romantic interest. And he's trying to gain her favor. He's very often pushy, but he is sweet. He recognizes her, understands her, appreciates her. And on the whole, I had a fun time with this. I'm not going to show you any pages because there are certain copyright issues that are coming up out of Japan, so I don't want to risk it. Cheeky Brat Volume 2, definitely recommend. I do believe it's a bit of an older shoujo if I'm not mistaken, and I'm glad it's got an English release. The next item in my haul is Queen's Quality Volume 3. Now I'm slowly picking this up. I thoroughly enjoyed myself with the prequel series, that is QQ Sweeper. I did read volumes 1 to 3 in last month's reading log. I will leave a card linked somewhere up so that you can check out February's reading log. I haven't read much in February, but I'm trying to remedy that this month. So Queen's Quality Volume 3, it's a very interesting take on mental health and stuff like that. It's basically these people who enter the hearts, and when people are sleeping, they enter their metaphorical hearts and clean out all the negative emotions, the anxieties, the depressions, and help them cope. They are kind of like cleaners of a sort, and this young lady is new and she's taken in by this guy's family, and it basically surrounds them and the job that they do. Now I haven't started Queen's Quality. I have finished QQ Sweeper. People say that you should read QQ Sweeper before you read Queen's Quality to get an idea. Gives you a better idea and understanding of the feel of the world that they are in. But from what I've heard, you can also jump straight to QQ Sweeper. Now this is done by the same mangaka who does Dengeki Daisy, which is an older shoujo. This is also a shoujo. I find this really interesting. It's a very unique take on mental health and anxiety, depression, stuff like that. So I do suggest you give this a go. I haven't, like I said, personally started Queen's Quality. I'm going to wait a little while before I begin it. I'm going to wait to pick up a few more volumes before I plunge into that. So yeah, Queen's Quality. From what I've read of QQ Sweeper, I definitely suggest for shoujo people to give it a go. But it is not only shoujo, it's got a good deal of other things also. So yeah, Queen's Quality, definitely give it a go if you're interested. The art style you can clearly make out is the same mangaka as Dengeki Daisy. I do not own personally, nor have I read Dengeki Daisy, but because I do believe certain volumes of that are a little harder to find. But yeah, Queen's Quality, definitely recommend. And the last item in this clip is Record of Ragnarok Volume 1. Now, I've heard a great deal about this. The hype around this was very high, particularly in the manga community. So I really wanted to give this a go. Now, I know there is a Netflix adaptation of there is an anime on Netflix, and from what I heard, it is absolute trash, and it's better to read the manga. That's why I've given the manga a go. I haven't watched the anime. Some people find it not so bad. Some people say it's absolutely horrible. But I will be reading the manga before I give the anime a go. Now, from what I gather, this is basically one day the gods decide that they're going to wipe out humanity, and then someone steps forward and says, okay, instead of wiping them out totally, why don't you give them a chance? So the gods decide to have a battle royale sort of thing, like a tournament, a giant tournament. I guess the whole thing's going to be a massive tournament arc. So they decide to have a tournament. The best human fighters against the best fighters of men against the best of the gods. So it's basically a entire tournament arc sort of thing. Now I gotta say personally, I'm not a big fan of tournament arcs. Basically, in most anime and manga which have tournament arcs, I find those arcs to be pretty much boring. It's a personal thing of mine. I do get over them to get to the other arcs, but basically tournament arcs are not my favorite. But I did want to give this a go. Now, the first battle, I don't know, I have absolutely no idea besides the basic synopsis of the series, but it is very hyped up, and I really want to give it a fair chance before I make my decision. So Record of Ragnarok, like I said, it's a massive tournament arc, and if the humans prove themselves worthy and if they win the various challenges against the gods, then I guess humanity gets to live. But I believe that there will be gods from different pantheons. I don't think it's limited only to Greek or Roman gods. I think it's going to be from across a wide variety of pantheons. So I love mythology, Greek mythology, Norse mythology. I personally love it. I wasn't a big Percy Jackson fan though, but you put Greek mythology in practically anything, I would consume the heck out of it. Like I said, just Percy Jackson wasn't my thing. So this seems to be certainly the type of thing I would enjoy, so I'm really interested in seeing this. It sounds to be my kind of thing, but like I said, the tournament arc thing is what kind of had me a bit hesitant, but I have heard good things about the manga, so I'm going to keep an open mind and give this a go. So these are what came in this week, and that's it going to be the clip for this week. I'll see you guys in the next week. It's going to be a week for me, but a couple of seconds for you, so see you in the next one. Hey everyone, so it's currently the 18th of March 2022 when I'm recording this, and these are all the packages that came in over the course of this past week. So without further ado, let's start unpackaging these. So the first book I'm hauling in this clip is Lovesick Ellie Volume 2. Now this is a new series. I do have volume 1 coming in, but it will come in later. I had some trouble. I had ordered it and then it got cancelled, and then I had to reorder it. So this is an interesting shoujo that from what I've heard of, it's very popular on Mangagram and also on MangaTube. I see a lot of shoujo readers reading this, and the premise sounded intriguing. So from what I gather, this girl is based on the outside. She's a very ordinary girl. She's so forgettable that she just practically blends into her surroundings. And this guy is the prince of the school that she attends. Now she, on the outside, to everyone, most people, she seems like a very ordinary girl, like a very forgettable type character. But on the internet, she's got this alternate persona called Lovesick Ellie, and this persona, she's very popularly known from what I gather, and how she's popular is that she makes a lot of thirst tweets about this guy. So she basically, puts out tweets about her fantasies about this guy, and this guy is the school prince, and she's got obviously a huge crush on him. Now he finds out about her online persona, and she comes to realize that he's not exactly whom he projects himself to be either. He's also pretty two-faced. So this is the two of them navigating their relationship. Now I'm interested in seeing where this goes. I will give this 3 volumes to decide whether or not I'm going to keep it. From what I hear, it's pretty fun. The premise is intriguing to say the least. Oh, by the way, Kodansha's logo is different here. It's got their new logo. So yeah, Lovesick Ellie Volume 2. in the hall, we have I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. Now, as if you are a regular viewer of my channel, you'd probably know that isekai is not my thing, but I am getting into it slowly. And this is one of the first isekai I ever decided to get into, mainly because the premise seemed interesting. It's a short series. This is the third volume. This is also the final volume. Now, I do believe there's a light novel on this series, but I have gone in for the manga. So basically, we have our main lead character, and she is isekai'd into this world as the villainess. Now, as in most games, the villainess ends up meeting a disastrous end. So this girl wants to avoid that. So she decides, okay, if I'm the villainess and I'm going to meet a disastrous end at the hand of the final demon king boss guy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tame the final boss. I'm going to make him fall in love with me. So this is the demon king guy, the final boss, whom she needs to get to fall in love with her. So this is basically that story. It's only a 3-volume series, so it's short. It's a short investment. I haven't started this series yet. I held off reading it till I had all 3 volumes so that I could binge read the entire series. So now that I have volume 3, you bet your ass I will be reading this. Now, like I said in my previous clips, I'm not going to be showing you any of the artwork inside, but just have a look at the covers. So, love these little chibi drawings. Like, chibi, I love chibi drawings. They're the easy way to my heart. So, yeah. I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. Volume 3. So next up in this haul is Vampire Dormitory Volume 3. Now I have hauled volumes 1 and 2 and this is the third volume. I believe this is the latest that's out right now. So basic thing is there's this girl and okay, basically I'll just tell you the basic synopsis. We've got our lead male who's a vampire and he's looking for a thrall. So he finds this girl who's actually dressed up as a guy serving in a butler cafe, and she is not having a good she's always beset by misfortune, so she's not having a good time. I'm not sure whether she's financially she's having troubles financially or not, but he doesn't know she's a girl at this point. He thinks she's a guy, so he sort of puts a deal to her: become my thrall and you can come live in the dormitory and you won't have any problems. So she sort of agrees with him to that, him all the while not knowing that she's a girl. Now from what I gather, there's a certain thing about this world where the vampires, when they drink the blood, if the blood of the victim is unloved, the blood does not taste good. So this girl, she's got no one for her, so she's always neglected. So because she has no one cares about her, she's no affection in any way, her blood doesn't taste good. So this guy makes it his goal, his aim to shower her in affection so that her blood starts to taste better. Gather is the thing about this. Correct me if I'm wrong, I could be totally wrong. But Vampire Dormitory Volume 3. Now vampires, I have a soft spot for vampires. If you probably know, Twilight wasn't my kind of thing, but Vampire Night, I did watch the whole thing. Even to this day, I don't know where I stand on the Vampire Night series. I thought it started off pretty good. Towards the end, sort of derailed a bit for me. But I digress. Vampire Dormitory, seems to be up my alley. I am going to give it a go. Keep my mind open and give it a go. It is a shoujo series. And yeah, I'm going into this almost totally blind. I basically know only the synopsis, but I have high hopes for it. Here's hoping it does not disappoint. Vampire Dormitory Volume 3. Next up, we have Love of Kill by Faye Sensei. Now this is volume 6 of Love of Kill. I do have a straight run up to volume 6 right now. I have 1 to 5 and now volume 6. This is an interesting, to say the least, series for me. I have binge read quite a good amount of it. It is in one of my previous reading logs. I will leave a link somewhere up to that reading log if you want to check out my thoughts on this series. So this is basically like a enemies to lovers sort of thing going on. As far as I have read, there isn't much progress in the love part of it. I mean, the girl, she sort of resists him. The guy, he's a bit forceful. He's like, but there seems to be something about their past. They're connected somehow through their past. They are both hired assassins. At least the guy is a hired assassin, and this girl works for an agency that is totally the enemy of the guy's organization and what he works for. But he takes a liking to her for some odd reason, for which we are not even clear. There seems to be some link between them. So anyway, Love of Kill, what I've read so far, I've enjoyed. Now this is one of those series that for some odd reason, if I read a volume, I need to reread the previous volume to get an idea of where it is. That happens very rarely for me particularly. But Love of Kill is one such thing, and I'm interested in seeing where it goes. It has got an anime adaptation that I don't know whether it is currently airing or is going to air, but I'm really excited about it. I do hope they make a little more progress moving further with regards to the romance part of it. But so far I'm enjoying what I've got. It's not hindering it in any way, but I am, it's sort of, I'm kind of eager to see how the relationship blossoms, and I'm also curious to see what the past relationship between our two main characters is. So Love of Kill volume 6. And our next pickup is Eden Zero volume 50. Now this is the latest volume that's currently out in the series. I picked these volumes up the minute they release, so I am up to date with this series. This is a series that I'm an unapologetic fairy tale fan, and Eden Zero is just, for me, it's a bit better than fairy tale actually. It's basically fairy tale in space, but with a hint of a bit of One Piece, of a bit of One Piece essence added to it, and I kind of like that. I think it really suits this series, and I think what Hiro Mashima is going for, he really delivers in this series. And where I am right now, where I currently am reading, is sort of like a segue between the new arc and what just wrapped up. But I am very eager to see where this goes. I love the main character Shiki. I think he's really good. Though character-wise, if you think, I do prefer Natsu a bit more than Shiki. But I definitely like Rebecca a bit more than I like Lucy. Rebecca is basically the Lucy clone, and you've got a lot. Hiro Mashima in a lot of his work seems to reuse his character lines, which is a thing, but I think I thoroughly enjoy it. So yeah, Eden Zero volume 15. If you are into fairy tale, I really suggest you give this a go, because this for me personally is a step up from fairy tale, at least how far it has reached so far. So Eden Zero volume 15, give it a shot. So next in my haul, I have Vinland Saga book 6. Vinland Saga was one of the first seinen that I ever got into, and I do not regret it one bit. So this is all based in the in the time of Vikings. It's basically a Viking story. We've got Thorfinn, our main character, who's out for revenge for certain things that happened in his past, and he's out for revenge against Asklad, and the way he goes about is by joining Asklad's group of mercenary Vikings, and he always tries to face off against Asklad, but he always keeps failing. And this is his journey. Straight off the bat, where I am, I cannot tell you who this character on the cover is, but Vinland Saga is, if you're into seinen, I definitely suggest you give Vinland Saga a go. Historical fiction at its peak. Also, they give you a lot of interesting details and maps and stuff based on, a lot of it is based on history that actually has happened. And it's fun tracing these little facts. Whenever I see any of these facts, I sort of just Google them up as soon as I can so that I can read more. I am unapologetically a history freak. I loved history growing up. A big deal of that is thanks to my teachers in school who really encouraged it. Though, surprisingly enough, when I did grow older, I did go into the science field, but history was some of my favorite stuff, history and mythology, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'd always like to thank my teachers who so much encouraged me into it. Thank you, my teachers out there. Thank you guys. Just wanted to put it out there to them. So Vinland Saga is like I said, it's a Viking story. If you like those sort of things, if seinen doesn't put you off, there is a ton of action, there is violence, there's blood. So if that does not put you off, give it a go. It's a very intriguing read. Makoto Yukimura does himself. After reading this, I do want to check out his other work, Planetes. Though from what I hear, Planetes is vastly different from Vinland Saga. But the release of these volumes is very, very slow from what I gather. I believe the latest volume 12 or 13, I think it's volume 12, has been out recently, and it was released after almost a year gap between volume 11 and volume 12. So it is a very slow release, and I do hope the author, the mangaka, does release more. But at the moment, I'm picking these up as much as I can. Of course, I'm doing it in order because that's basically how I do things. So Vinland Saga, I definitely suggest you give it a go. Even if you're not a typical seinen fan, if dark shonen is kind of your thing, maybe give Vinland Saga a go, because I definitely do not regret giving this a shot. Though it was totally out of my wheelhouse, I'm really glad that I gave this a go. So next up in this haul, I have Kaiju Girl Carmelis volumes 1 and 3. Now I'm having difficulty getting volume 2. That's kind of the reason why I didn't get it yet. But I am very excited about this particular series. Now I do believe that like Vinland Saga, Kaiju Girl Carmelis, the release for the volumes is like, it takes forever. But I didn't know this when I got into the series. On hindsight, maybe I should have checked it out. It was my bad. But Kaiju Girl Carmelis, the synopsis that I read and what I've seen from other manga tubers really interested me, intrigued me thoroughly. So we've got our main girl here, this young lady, and she has this condition that whenever she feels large quantities of any type of emotion, whenever she gets emotional in any way, feels any sort of thing, parts of her body or her entire body, she turns into a kaiju. So sometimes it's just her hand, or sometimes she gets a tail or something. But the thing is, her rampant running emotions. So she really needs to control that. Come into this picture, the main lead character, and she's got a crush on him. And whenever he's around, she gets nervous and she starts feeling all sorts of things. So she finds it difficult controlling the kaiju part of her. She doesn't want to turn into a kaiju in front of him and risk losing, basically how teenagers are. So it's a lovely coming of age story from what I hear. It's how she navigates her unique circumstances of turning into a kaiju, and at the same time trying to navigate the waters of the heart, so you say, a life in high school as she is going through. So like I said, kaijus are definitely something interesting for me, and I thoroughly liked all the Godzilla movies that came out recently. I'm a big fan of those things. So anyway, I'm not a big fan of I think the movie that came out recently, but the latest one, I think Godzilla vs. Kong, was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed myself with that. So anyway, I digress. I'm digressing a lot this time. So Kaiju Girl Carmelis, I cannot read this until I get volume 2, because I generally tend to read first 3 volumes. So I will be waiting till I get volume 2. I think up till volume 5 is currently out, and like I said, the releases are very slow. Now if you can see, the art style just looks really gorgeous. I mean, look at this. It's so it's cute. At the same time, the kaiju looks absolutely terrifying. So from what I gather, the art style is very shoujo-esque, but at the same time, it's got the kaiju, added factor of the kaiju in it. So I am thoroughly interested in seeing how it is. Like, I'm sorry I can't show you any of the art inside, because I have mentioned it before, which is kind of a bummer, because it's interesting to see the art. But I guess if you Google it, Google the title, you can have a look at some of the panels on Google. So yeah, Kaiju Girl Carmelis volumes 1 and 3. Want to get into this, but I'm waiting to get more volumes before I jump into it. Next in the haul, we have The Witch and the Beast This is volume 8. Now this is the latest volume that's out right now. This is the series that I am so glad I read. At first I was very hesitant about it. I was not sure. I thanked some of my followers, some viewers who commented and suggested I read this. I really thank them so much for their recommendation and their suggestion. So I read the first one volume of Witch and the Beast and I knew I was hooked, and I got into the rest of it. So this is the latest volume. Now the Witch and the Beast is an intriguing thing. I thoroughly enjoy the art style. It's really gothic. It's dark fantasy, magic, witches, monsters and stuff. From what I've read, it's thoroughly intriguing. So if dark magic, dark fantasy, sort of like with a gothic hint to it, is kind of in your line, I definitely suggest give it a go. If not, at least try it out, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the art style. The art style is very unique. I love the way the mangaka, draws their characters. I love these covers. They are just gorgeous with one main color dominating sort of. I thoroughly enjoy this, and I'm glad that I gave this a go. I'm glad once in a while it's good to step out of your wheelhouse, good to step out of your comfort zone and try out new things, because unless you try them out, unless you give them a go, you're not gonna know whether you enjoy them or not. Now sometimes it may end up being, a total waste. You may not enjoy it, but then again you don't lose anything out of it. But if you enjoy it, you discover new series, new stuff that normally you would not have even considered. So taking a risk every once in a while is definitely the way to go. So The Witch and the Beast, volume 8. And the last item in this particular clip is Rosenblood volume 2. Now, Rosenblood, I don't know how to say this, but for those of you who haven't watched my last reading log, do check it out where I give a thorough impression on Rosenblood. I will leave the link, a card for it somewhere up top. So Rosenblood, I felt like it was a Diabolic Lovers ripoff. And from what I read of volume 1, I gotta say I was not impressed. So we basically have a main lead female who ends up living with the set of group of vampires. And she decides they need to feed off obviously blood to survive, and she magnanimously decides to say, okay, I will help you guys. I don't want you guys to suffer and stuff like that. It's kind of basically a Diabolic Lovers ripoff. I didn't enjoy the first volume. I'm going to give it till volume 3. If I do not enjoy volume 2 or 3, this is one that's going to have to go from my collection. But I'm hoping volume 2 and 3 redeem themselves, because volume 1 just did not do it for me, which is kind of odd, because vampires is something vampires as a theme are stuff generally that I enjoy. So Rosenblood volume 2. So these are the things that came in this week. I'll transition to next week now, which is going to be a whole week for me, but it's going to be a couple of seconds for you. So see you then. Bye. Hey everyone, so it's currently the 27th of March 2022 when I'm recording this. This will be the final manga clip of this haul. So these are just the packages that came in over the course of this week. Just 3 packages, not much. So let's get into it. So the first manga in this clip is Monster Volume 1 by Naoki Urasawa. Now I have mentioned before that I have been collecting 20th Century Boys in the perfect editions, I believe they are. So those are the ones I was collecting at that time. But when I saw that a lot of the volumes of Monster were back in stock, I gotta admit FOMO kind of hit me. And I decided, okay, let's get into it. Let's collect Monster as well. So I am now actively collecting Monster. This is volume 1. I hope to get the other volumes soon. I know there was a long time in which these volumes were severely out of stock. but a lot of them have come into stock. That's why I'm pouncing on this as soon as possible. So the story of Monster is like, we've got this a surgeon, and he has to a certain incident occurs, and he has to make the choice between saving the life of a very important person or an ordinary child, I think, and he chooses the child or something, and he faces backlash for that. And also he gets framed for a murder. He knows he's framed, he knows he's not the one who committed. So it's basically a mystery thriller sort of thing, where it follows our lead character, Dr. Tenma, the surgeon, who is going around trying to figure out who was the actual person who committed the murder, who is the person who framed him for the murder. So it's like I said, psychological, it's mystery, it's thriller. And what I've heard is Monster is kind of the sort of thing that you should binge through, similar to 20th Century Boys, which is why I will wait to collect this entire series before I even start reading. But I'm kind of taking a leap of faith, and I'm going to start collecting this. So Monster Volume 1. So next in my haul we have Norigami Volume 23. This is the latest volume that is out right now, but the release of volumes for this series are very there's a lot of time that takes between the release of consecutive volumes, and I sort of hesitated on picking up volume 23, but now I have picked up volume 23. Norigami Stray God is a series that I'm definitely into. I watched both seasons of the anime, loved it, and when I did start collecting the series, I made the choice to start collecting it from where I left off with the anime. So that's around where I've got my collection. So this is the latest volume. I do hope they come out with the new volumes, another volume soon. I hope they finish the series soon. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the series is coming to an end. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but I love these covers. They have these amazing matte finish, and Norigami is just one of those series that I personally love unapologetically. It's got shonen fights, actions, yokai, gods. It's also got a hint of romance. Now the later volumes of when the romance is starting to blossom a bit more, they mostly don't focus on the romance as much. It's more of a battle fighting shonen series between gods and yokais, and the interpolitics that goes on there and all that. So Norigami Volume 23, I've on and off given my synopsis for Norigami, so I'll quickly give it to you anyway. We have our main god Yato, who is a stray god. He doesn't have much of a following, so his main aim, our main god here, his main aim in life is to amass a large following of followers, and to receive tributes and stuff like that. So it's mainly his story of how he tries to achieve this. He befriends this girl who's half Ayakashi, named Hiyori, and there's something going on between the two of them, and he's got this Shinki, that is his sword, whose physical manifestation is a young boy named Yukine, and while he tries to gain a footing in the world of gods and no longer be a minor god, he's facing a lot of hardships, mainly because of a mysterious character who comes in and causes trouble and who has his own goals. So it's very interesting. The artwork is amazing. I wish I could show you some of the pages, but due to copyright issues mainly, I'm not doing that. I don't want to risk it. So yeah, Norigami, I definitely suggest you give this a go. If not, at least give the anime a go. Both seasons are they're total fun, right? Yato as a character is hilarious, and I love the interpersonal dynamics between the characters. So definitely check it out. So next in my haul, I have The King's Beast Volume 1. This is by the mangaka Rei Toma. She's, I think they are also the mangaka behind Dawn of the Arcana. Now I haven't read Dawn of the Arcana, but I am giving King's Beast a go. I believe this mangaka has also done Water Dragon's Bride, which is another series I want to get into. Now this is supposed to be a shoujo series involving demi-humans. It's set in the same world as Dawn of the Arcana, but you don't have to read Dawn of the Arcana to understand King's Beast. So basically we have our main character. In this world there are these demi-humans and humans, and demi-humans are looked upon, and it's in such a world where young boys who are demi-humans are selected. If they are strong enough, they're selected and taken to the palace, or taken by royals or nobles to be their bodyguards or their servants, whereas the demi-human young girl children are sent off to brothels. So that's basically what their fate is. Now we follow our main character, who's a young lady actually. She's a female demi-human, and she's got a twin brother. The brother gets taken at a young age to be a servant to the prince, I think. I don't think it's the king. I think he's taken to be the servant to the prince, and he falls prey to interpolitical dynamics and stuff, and he ends up getting killed. Now she wants revenge for that. She wants to find out what happened, why he was targeted, why he was killed, who killed him. So she takes on, she disguises herself as a male demi-human, and goes into the service of the prince, and she's trying to solve the mystery about what happened to her brother, why was he killed, who killed him. But at the same time, she finds the prince isn't exactly what she expected him to be. So I'm guessing, since this is a shoujo beat title, I am guessing there's going to be a good deal of romance. But from what I've heard, mixed reviews about this particular series, which was kind of why I was a little hesitant to get into it to begin with. But I decided finally, okay, why not give it a go? So I am giving The King's Beast a go. This is volume 1. So yeah, King's Beast, volume 1. So these are the stuff that came in this week. Now besides this, I have a video with some merch unboxing that I have. So we will transition to that right now. Okay everyone, so this is an extra clip, some bonus material. I did get in a few small merch items, and I didn't know whether to include it in the middle. I don't know whether I will be including it in the middle or towards the end of the entire clip of my haul. But I did want to share it with you guys. This yeah, I bought a few small things. I bought them from this website called japanimation.in. I gave it a try. I will leave a link to their site in the description down below. They are a bit pricey at stuff with certain things, but they have some cool stuff. So I just tried them out this time. So they have amazing customer service. They were really helpful, and they were prompt in their delivery. So these are just some things. I'm trying them out. If I like the stuff that's come in, I will definitely be purchasing more from them. So yeah, let's open this up. Okay, so first up, have these 3 packages, which I believe are acrylic stands. Now I don't have any acrylic stands, and I wanted some to put on my bookshelf. By the way, there's a manga organization video that I will leave a card to somewhere up top. So anyway, these are some acrylic stands. It's the first time I'm getting acrylic stands. They were a bit pricey, but I don't know if that's the standard rate. But yeah, let's see. I cut straight to this because unboxing them took some time. Now I gotta say, these are I got some bleach acrylic stands. So I've got Byakuya Kuchiki here, and it's not really very clear, but you can see there. Got Byakuya Kuchiki, Toshiro. I don't know. I don't think it's clear, but you've got Toshiro here, and of course you've got Ichigo Kurosaki. Oh, it's not clear. I'm sorry. Sorry for the fuzzy picture, guys. But yeah. Now my straight off impressions is, first of all, they're a lot smaller than I expected them to be. I really expected them to be a bit larger. But yeah, this is definitely a try. I want to try out some of the larger ones they have in their collection. So yeah, I may get from this website again. I for acrylic stands, I don't know what the going price is, but yeah, I definitely would give this a go. They have like a couple of interesting stuff. They're not much, but a good selection. So yeah, so this is for my bleach collection, mainly because I bought the third box set. And unboxing, I'll put the card for the third bleach box set 3 unboxing. So I thought this would go well with my bleach display. Next, I have this thing, this little figure. Now next I have this Gojo figure. This I thought was okay, worth the price that I paid. If you guys don't know, Gojo is my favorite character in Jujutsu Kaisen. I absolutely adore the guy. He's like a brat, but I still like him. He's my favorite character in the Jujutsu Kaisen series. I know a lot of people love Megumi and Yuji and all that, but I think my two favorite characters, one is Gojo, Kugisaki Nobara, and also Maki Zenin. I really like the Maki Zenin character, but yeah, so I decided to get this small figure of Gojo, Satoru Gojo. So yeah, that's some of the merch I bought. So just thought I'd do a quick unboxing for it. I don't know if more will be coming. I have ordered more, but I don't know whether it'll make it into this haul. So yeah, that's just a side thing, different from the manga unboxings. But yeah, I thought it is okay. Like, I am a bit disappointed with the acrylic stands, but on the whole, definitely give it a go. Like I said, I'll leave a link to the website, to their site in the description down below, so do check them out, japanimation.in. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is another clip of some merch. I do have a previous clip of merch. I don't know whether I've included that in this particular video or not. But this is some merch that came in that I purchased this month. So they came in this month, so I wanted to have a small quick little merch unboxing. Most of them are figures. They're all budget figures relatively, so they're band presto figures. Now I've ordered these figures off a site called comicsense.com. I will leave links to it in the description box down below. Now straight off, I wanted to say the packaging is not the best. It's like totally smashed up, so I don't know what state the boxes of the figures are not going to be in good state. As you can see, the packaging is like really bad, but I hope the figures themselves aren't damaged, because I generally, for band presto figures, I don't keep the boxes. So let's start unboxing these. Okay, so my first package is a figure of Gojo, Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. Like I said, the box is totally mutilated almost. It's in a really bad state, and I don't know why it's come so bad, in such a bad state. But yeah, I'll quickly unbox this and give you a look at what the figure looks like. Okay, so here this is a view of the Satoru Gojo figure. Now I'll be sure to include some B-roll of this figure. So I've always wanted a figure of Satoru Gojo. Gojo is one of my favorite, not one, I think he is my favorite character in Jujutsu Kaisen. So yeah, this is one figure. Okay, looking straight up, this box is not as badly damaged as Gojo's box. It is having a bit of wear and tear here and there, but like I said, I don't really keep these boxes much I don't keep these boxes much, so I don't plan on keeping them. Our next figure, we have Nobara Kugisaki. So I think she's, compared to the Gojo figure, she definitely has a better form. Though I'll be quick to point out that one of the nails that she uses is bent. If you can see that, it is definitely bent a bit. So yeah, it's Nobara Kugisaki. Now I gotta say the bases are a bit wide. I would have preferred a bit smaller bases, then I can put the figures a little closer to each other. So I'll give you a look at that. Her hair has come out rather well. I think her sculpt is pretty good for a budget figure. And the last figure I have is a Yuji Todori in his Sukuna form figure. Now I picked the Sukuna form because I do find the Sukuna character really interesting. Next to Gojo, he may be my next favorite character. So yeah, that's why I went in for this one. Now this is, among the other two boxes, this is the one which seems to be in the better shape of the lot. So yeah, let me open it up. So here we have Yuji Itadori, completely assembled. Yeah, his sculpt does look good. The face looks really good. I don't know if you can see the face. I'm sorry for not being able to. Yeah, so he looks pretty good. Yeah, so I guess you can see a pattern here. I have all the main characters. At least the first years. I do have a Megumi figure that should be coming in soon, so hopefully, I don't know whether it'll make it into this haul or not, but yeah, these are some of the figures that I got in. They're all budget figures, so they're not the best that you can get, but I'm pretty happy with these purchases. So yeah, that's it for this particular clip. Hey everyone, so yet another package came in that's got some merch in it, and if you've seen the previous 2 clips of my merch, you're gonna have an idea. You can sort of guess what's in this package. Now this package, this figure, I'm straight up going to say it's a figure. This figure is from the Superhero Toy Store website. They're a very good website if you're going in for figures and for statues and collectibles and stuff like that. They are definitely the way to go. They have some high-end stuff. This is like the previous figures, a budget figure. And if you've seen like I said, if you've seen the previous clips, you kind of have an idea of what this is. But I will leave links to this website, the store's website, in the description down, so do check them out. Straight off, I can say their packaging is a hell of a lot better than the previous packages that I got. So yeah, let's open this up. So straight off, this was a heck of a lot better packed than the previous figures from the previous store. So I would definitely recommend give this shop your patronage. They are really good for figures. I have got a Full Metal Alchemist figure from them, which came in pristine condition. I also bought, I think, one of my Iron Spidey, I think it was an Iron Studios figure that I got. Also, but that I got, I think, at a Comic Con. But anyway, yeah. So this is a Megumi figure from Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay, so we have the Megumi Fushiguro Band Presto figure here. One thing I gotta say is the base is so large. I'm gonna have a tough time displaying these. But yeah, now I have the full first year's collection with Gojo Sensei figures, which I'm thoroughly happy about, because in case you guys haven't noticed, I'm a big Gojo stan and I'm a big Jujutsu Kaisen fan. I thoroughly enjoyed the manga and I can't wait for season 2. So yeah, this is the merchandise that I've gotten so far. I don't know whether this is going to be the end of the clip or not, but let's transition to the rest of the video. So that's all I have for you guys right now. If you want to contact me on any of my social media accounts, they are currently up on the screen. I've also linked them in the description box down below, so hit me up on those. You can also, of course, check me up on my email. My email is also currently now up on the screen. Simply on mercy@funny-pajamas.com. Pajamas with a Y. That's all I have for you right now. I'm going to end it here. So this is Mercy signing out, saying bye. Have a good one. I had a decent haul this March. A lot of interesting stuff that I want to give a go. A lot of things I want to read and try out. So here's hoping April's as good. I know a couple of heavy hitters are coming out in April, but that's all I have for you right now. I'm going to sign out now. This is Mercy signing out. Bye. Have a good one, everyone.